It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
Let's start in one of our favorite places to start in Florida when it comes to misbehaving, and that is a gas station, everybody.
No.
You know, that's where the real throwdowns go down. A man is accused of stabbing and punching people during a heated religious debate. That's right. There's nothing that brings out hostility like religion.
There's never been anything
about
like this.
Religion at the gas station. What?
Yeah. It turned violent. Guys stabbing and punching others. As the discussion turned to religion,
This is a word from the Lord, and he's not happy.
Yeah, I love Jesus. No, I love Jesus. No, I love him more. No, you don't. I love him more. And before you know it, it's a.
Don't talk to me that way.
It's a 22-year-old from Palm Coast, and on the Mark Thompson Show booking photo scale, I am giving him a 7. That is a strong booking photo.
Is he wearing a smock from a hair salon? What's happening there?
It does look like some kind of futuristic blouse smock thing that he's wearing. I think that
There's never been anything like this.
it really.
He had his hair cut before church, apparently.
Well, it's like the Star Trek wardrobe and a great hairstyle. Reminds me of Edward Scissorhands, Alex says. You're right. He does have an Edward Scissorhands. Blue Spark says the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a fact that he's in police custody now, so everyone can examine him and see who he looks like, and everybody can opine on it there at the station. The two men said that they rode their bikes to the gas station where they encountered this guy sitting at a picnic bench outside the gas station, as one does. A conversation started, as one often does, when a couple of other people come up, and after a few minutes, the topic turned to religion, and that's when this guy, who you're seeing now, grew upset. The debate got heated. And according to those who witnessed things, one of the victims, who said he practices Buddhism, cut him off, the guy who you're seeing, Death Row is his last name, as he tried to speak of his religious views. Death Row became infuriated hearing about Buddhism and allegedly punched one of the men several times. And then he stabbed the other.
What?
Wow. This took a turn.
Yeah, really ugly.
What he's got going here is a situation.
It's not really the way any Lord, regardless of which Lord is your Lord, would want things to go.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol
Maybe
involved.
there is. The 22-year-old fled the scene. Oh, so he was out of there.
What can you tell us about the scene?
And the 22-year-old is flooded out, Larry. The two men went back home. They called 911, and after they described this guy, the cops found him pretty quickly. I'm laughing because, he does have a very distinctive look.
Yeah.
All I can say is, remember, politics and religion, it can get a little bit intense.
This is the guy with dreads wearing a smock. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. A dude is left paralyzed after he was injured in a police van, and he is suing now the St. Petersburg, Florida cops. They filed a federal lawsuit, his family did, citing police brutality and a violation of his civil rights. He was loaded into a van for trespassing, and they're suggesting in the lawsuit he was detained illegally for sleeping in a parking lot. And he was put in this St. Pete police transport van while wearing handcuffs attached to a chain around his body. That limited his use of his arms, and he was not restrained in the vehicle, in other words, protected in any way. And as a result, when the van was driven in a reckless manner, again, this is what they're alleging, and intentionally slamming on the brakes, another detainee riding in a separate area of the van was shouting that this guy had been hurt, repeatedly kicked the transport van's inner wall 4 times to say, hey, what are you doing up there? The video from inside the vehicle shows when the guy who is suing slid off the bench and hit his head on the bulkhead of the van, knocking him unconscious.
Oh, no.
The suit is alleging that They checked the cameras and saw the guy motionless, but did not check on him until they reached jail. Oh. They didn't pull over. They didn't check on him. They didn't render him aid. They just kept driving, said the attorney representing the family. Then when they got to the jail, they didn't treat him like a human being. They literally pulled him out by his ankles.
Not
so
cool.
That is an ongoing suit, and it's not the first one like it. You remember, I believe in Baltimore, there was a guy who was killed in a police van in many of the same
alleging
ways.
that they did it on purpose, right? That they kind of try to beat people up by the slamming on the brakes and the not putting of the seatbelt on, and that people get banged around in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Albert putting a heavy story in and a provocative story in Friday Fabulous Florida. Albert is kind of growing up. He used to have a certain, he liked just mayhem and craziness, but now he's thrown in a provocative, thought-provoking story. Very well done, Albert, the commissioner.
Albert, thank you.
Yeah.
In a way, the cops are also still Florida men and women, unfortunately, as well.
That's
to the detriment of their own people. So, you know.
A Florida woman is accused of flipping off deputies while driving erratically on the grass. Wow.
That's not going to end well.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
I would bet your lunch on that one.
I dare you to give me a ticket.
Darla Rachel Vidal, who is pictured here and on the Mark Thompson Show booking photo scale, I'm giving her an 8, everybody. How about that? She looks good.
She's got a little smile going on there.
Yeah, she really looks good.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
It's because the drugs haven't worn off quite yet.
She's 35. She's facing 1 felony count of resisting an officer and 1 misdemeanor count of resisting an officer following this incident. It was 2:25 in the afternoon. What could possibly go wrong? A deputy saw her driving a car on the grass at a high rate of speed.
Oh.
On Key Deer Boulevard, a fan favorite, Key Deer Boulevard. She reportedly did not stop, continued to swerve from the road and back onto the grass. And at one point, she waved her middle finger at the deputy that was attempting to pull her over. Wow.
What not to do when you're confronted by police.
Yeah.
They pay me a lot of money for having attitude.
Okay.
Heather says she is not sorry, and I am here for it.
After nearly striking a deer, she stopped on Pensacola Road and ran toward the deputy, screaming that she hates police. Again, maybe not the best time to share that information. Deputy said that she also told the deputy to shoot her. Well, she was arrested and booked into Monroe County Jail.
Good day, sir.
How am I doing on time, Albert? You'll watch it because when Michael Shore arrives, I only have him for 10 minutes, so you'll keep an eye on it. A Florida man rushed to the hospital early Sunday morning. A hunter, mistaking him for a turkey, shoots him multiple times.
He
Really?
mistook a person for a turkey?
Exactly, really? I don't necessarily buy that. The
have you been
Bunnell
smoking,
Police
sir?
Department, yeah. You think that
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
there's alcohol involved with every story? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Police said the 911 caller claimed that that they thought they were shooting at an animal. So the guy shot him, then called 911. When they arrived at the scene, they found a man who'd been shot in the head and torso with what appeared to be birdshot.
What can you tell us about the scene?
There's a man who's been shot in the head and torso, Larry. The victim was airlifted to the trauma center. Officers spoke with the hunter who said he was turkey hunting when he saw 3 female turkeys on the road. He told police that he followed them and then saw what appeared to be a male turkey. Yeah, wearing khaki pants and a hat. He fired his shotgun, but in the low light, he realized it was a decoy. He then heard someone shout that they'd been shot.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, my bad.
Is that we're reminiscent of the Dick Cheney situation?
Oh,
No, I
my
don't know.
God. It's a truly...
There's a reason that this place is fun.
I guess. Everybody's got a gun and yet an attitude in Florida. I hate it when a hunter mistakes me for a turkey. So, yeah, exactly. He was a jive turkey, says John. Whatever happened to that jive turkey thing? That was like a 70s thing, huh? Alabama man high on mushrooms arrested with a parrot on his shoulder after fighting with Florida deputies. Wow, that should get everybody's bingo card. This happened in Florida. He was getting into it with deputies. He was high on mushrooms. They found him in a truck on a panhandle road with a parrot on his shoulder. Deputies got a call about a man pounding on the front door of a home after sitting in his vehicle nearby. The homeowners asked the man to leave, but he would not comply. Then they called deputies. They headed to the scene, and a car matching the description of one that was reportedly in many complaints was found in the area.
What can you tell us about the scene?
That the car matches the description, Larry. Deputies say the driver, later identified as Timothy Brandon Bowers, seen here, and sorry, on the Mark Thompson booking photo scale,
No.
I'm giving him a 4. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's generous, I think.
Well, he was, looks like, involved in some kind of altercation.
Yeah, he looks a little roughed up.
They saw several weapons in his vehicle. They asked him to exit the vehicle. He was non-compliant and combative, and they deployed a taser. He was detained a short time afterward. He said that he was fine. He was just high on mushrooms. So I don't know if that story is going to play in court, but that's the one he's going with. Yeah.
I thought that was supposed to be a peaceful hallucinogen. Like, I didn't think that was supposed to make you fight back at the cops. No?
Yeah, I think that is a story. It may not be.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol
Exactly.
involved.
I think there is an alcohol involved. A Florida man has pocketed $125,000 from illegally selling turtles that he shipped to Germany and Hong Kong. I hate this. I absolutely hate this shipment. I think these people should be jailed forever. Exactly. You are never getting out. John Michael Kritasoulis of Alva, which is near Fort Myers, he's 36 years old, pleading guilty after being caught shipping wild-caught Florida turtles through the Miami International Airport. The turtles were on their way to Germany and on their way to Hong Kong. He had co-conspirators. They captured various species of turtles, and then they falsified the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service forms, which are sent with international shipments. There he is, a despicable guy. I'm going to give him, on the booking photo scale here on the Mark Thompson Show, I'm going to give him a 3 because of his despicable to the core and empty look. There isn't a prison term long enough for you. Alligators spotted eating another alligator. I know.
What?
Yeah. A woman running on a trail got a look at an alligator with a mouthful of another gator over the weekend. It's gator on gator violence.
That's
Kim.
very Florida, yes.
Sue Edwards on a 2-mile run on a loop trail around a lake in Babcock Ranch on Sunday. She said she turned the corner, she saw a gator. And while she said she wasn't shocked to see the gator, what was in its mouth was shocking. What she initially believed to be a snake was a smaller gator. I had no idea gators would eat another gator, she said.
Hey, when you're hungry enough.
She snapped a few photos
Right
and
now
kept
it's
on
mating
running.
season, and they're hungry.
No, there's that. Yeah. Wow.
Gator cannibals, yes.
And then finally, a couple vacationing in Florida is arrested after being passed out on the beach, and the children are gone. Alyssa Langley and Timothy Stevens, both 27 years old, charged with child neglect. Imagine this. They go to the beach, they fall asleep. They were drunk and asleep on the sand in Daytona Beach while their children were nowhere to be found.
That's really dangerous. I mean, by the ocean? No.
Well, yeah, and in a public place where anything could happen, it's pretty brutal. Both of them in police custody with that charge. Now, we don't like to do it, but we must. We must pick a favorite. And I'll remind you of those that you've just heard. Please indicate your favorite. Well, there's a lot of voting today. You're voting in Mark's Madness, and you're voting for your favorite Florida story.
Just the write-in votes for Florida this week, because we have the Mark's Madness polls that are up right now. So
right. So only the write-in here for Florida. Florida man accused of stabbing, punching men during a heated argument about religion That happened at a gas station. The Florida dude left paralyzed after that police van that he was loaded into was all over the road and stopped short. The family is suing the St. Petersburg cops. The Florida woman accused of flipping off deputies while driving erratically on the grass. The Florida hunter, mistaking a man for a turkey, shoots him in the head.
Oof.
An Alabama guy who made it to Florida was high on mushrooms with a parrot on his shoulder after he fights with Florida deputies. The Florida guy who trafficked thousands of turtles worth $125,000 to both Hong Kong and Germany. An alligator spotted eating another gator by the Florida woman, and then the couple vacationing in Florida passing out on Daytona Beach and their children gone. Very hard to pick a favorite. We must. It's in the bylaws of the show. I ask you, Kim.
Kim, how are you?
I was almost swayed by a great comment. It's a Gator eat Gator world out there.
Yeah, it's Gator on Gator.
I think I have to go with our friend in the smock.
The friend in the smock is the religious debate at the gas station. You want to go? All right. Okay.
Yeah, John Slade also agrees with you. I'll take the Holy Warriors.
The Holy Warriors, very strong, John Slade. Albert, what is your pick?
I like the woman flipping off the deputies because she did not care and she didn't have any regrets about that. So I like the conviction, and I like to stick it to the man, you know. So
well, I will say this. For me, it is between the woman who was flipping the deputies off, and I think I got a little bit of a crush on her based on her booking photo, and also the heated religious debate where there's punching and stabbing between the Buddhists and the, I presume, I don't know what the other guy, what his religion was.
The gas station come to Jesus meeting, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's my favorite. So I go with the gas station throwdown.
Yeah.
You can vote in the chat, and you can, of course, you can vote in comments anytime. Gator brunch, says Karen. And the people like the Gators. Gators is always a story.
Yeah.
Turkey hunter. Gator, says Chris. Yeah. And the turkey hunter story is pretty crazy.
Good too, how can you make that mistake? Come on.
Yeah. Mushroom parrot fighter man, says Nancy. Alabama guy got caught by the Sharpie extension. That's a reference to the Trump thing. That's very funny. Religion argument. This is the word of the Lord, and he's not happy. Yeah, the religion argument is always a good one. That's Friday Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now here.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.